What's going on, guys? I hope you had a really Merry Christmas and I appreciate you tuning in to today's episode. It's the evening of Christmas Day as I record this, and today we're doing the customary Christmas haul, a tradition here on the channel. Now, for context, much of what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video are items that I've purchased for myself. They're just my regular eBay and Facebook Marketplace pickups that arrive during November and December. Rather than opening them up as they arrive during this period of the year, I just wrap them up and throw them under the tree. That way the tree looks way better, because a Christmas tree just looks way better loaded up with gifts, but also it just gives me a little bit of joy to rip these things all open at once on Christmas morning rather than opening them up as they arrive throughout that holiday period. So that's what we've got. But with that said, I do have some legitimate proper gifts which I can't wait to open. We've got a gift here from Matt from Keep On Collecting, which I've been trying to fight temptation to open up this morning, so we're going to bring it home with that at the end. But first, I had a package that arrived just a few days before Christmas from a champion, Adam Berry, who you may know as Real Toy Dude on Instagram. And full disclosure here, I was going to save this for a standalone video, but I'm just too excited at the prospect of filming this, editing this, and then having to wait to a later date to open this. So we're going to include this in the Christmas haul because I can't wait to open this up. Like I said, Adam Berry, you may know him as Real Toy Dude on Instagram. He's a collector of all things G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Micro Machines, and other things. An absolute champion, someone I had the pleasure of meeting on a live stream a couple of months back, I believe, and also just chatting on Instagram. He's a champion. I definitely recommend you check him out on Insta. But without any further chit chat, let's rip this thing open. And I've got some scissors handy. I'm terrible at unboxings, guys. I usually unbox things and then share it later on in a video. But when it comes to gifts, I've got to do a legit unboxing. So I'm probably going to fast forward through this as I open it. Alrighty, so first up, I've got a note from Adam. Now, I'm not sure if Adam would want me to read this out, but look, I'm going to do it anyway. Hey Scott, from one handsome guy to another. Hey, he said it, not me. I hope you're keeping well. Please find enclosed a couple of small gifts. I remember on our recent live stream for Keep On Collecting that you said you were into these lines. Enjoy, Adam, Real Toy Dude. P.S. Can you please pass on a badge to Matt and Andrew when you see them, or post them to them? I absolutely will, because the first thing I noticed here are some really cool Real Toy Dude badges, and I will most definitely pass those on to Matt and Andy from Keep On Collecting. I really appreciate those, mate. That is very much appreciated. Man, Adam, I appreciate that you would send me anything at all, man. I'm blown away, especially all the way from the UK. So thank you so much, and let's rip into it. Let's see what we got here. So I've got a little kind of, this seems at first glance like some kind of vending machine little blind bag toy from the 90s, but it's definitely got some gross out elements. Oh wow, so guys, this is a Mad Balls item. Something that I was definitely chatting with Adam about, because I just mentioned how tricky it is to get things like Mad Balls and Mad Ball knockoffs and other kind of related late 80s, early 90s gross out toys like this. This is actually a Mad Balls kind of blind box vending machine style toy. I don't know if this is vintage or not, but either way, this thing is awesome. And because I don't know if it's vintage or not, I don't know whether to open this up or not. I've got an insert here that shows all of the others in the line. I wonder if this is like a water squirter or something like that. And on this insert, let's see if we can see a date. Okay, it is a more modern release. Well, it's 2009, so not exactly modern, but it is more modern, which that's great. That just means I can open this, because if not, I would feel, if it was vintage, I'd feel bad opening it. So let's rip this thing open. And there we have it. That is awesome. I'm going to assume this is some sort of water squirter toy, which is just wicked. How cool is that? That is awesome. So Adam, thank you so much for that. I was thinking, like, when I saw it in this little kind of vending machine style capsule, I was thinking it's going to be either a water squirter or it's going to be a bouncy ball. This looks like a water squirter, so that is wicked. Adam, thank you so much for that, mate. That is just awesome. That's going to take pride of place in the collection, along with the wicked insert that shows the others. And what else have we got in here? Oh, wow. So on that live stream with Adam, I was talking about some of the Crash Dummies items that I picked up recently, and specifically Hubcat and Bumper, the highly inappropriate cat and dog Crash Dummy figures that open up to become roadkill. And here it looks like we've either got another wave of those, or they might be knockoffs. We've got another dog, a very different dog sculpt to the bumper in the line that I'm familiar with, that I picked up in my collection. And again, we've got the articulation to turn these guys into roadkill. And we've got what looks like a skunk or a raccoon or something like that. I'm gonna have to do some research on that. Obviously, as soon as I'm done filming this, I'm gonna touch base with Adam just to say thanks. But I'm gonna be asking for some additional info on these guys, because I don't know if these are crash dummies, like later versions of the same sort of toy, or if these are just straight knockoffs. Whatever they are awesome. And then we've also got a little crash dummy style fire hydrant toy. So again, same scale to crash dummies. It's got some articulation there. I don't know if it opens up, but how cool is that? I've literally never seen these guys before. So that is awesome. We've got the little crash dummies dog and what looks like maybe a skunk or a raccoon. That is wicked. That is awesome. Adam, thank you so much, mate. They are very much appreciated. I wish I knew more about both those items, but I'm going to be texting you as soon as I get off from recording this video. And mate, I can't thank you enough. That is so cool. Now we're going to run through my own pickups from during the holiday period, starting with a vintage TMNT figure with this Zack the Neutrino from the 1991 wave. The Zack is complete. He's got his laser gun, he's got his backpack with the piping there that connects the gun to the backpack, and his awesome hoverboard accessory there. So he is complete. Now if you're not aware, the Neutrinos were a group of teenagers from Dimension X that pop up quite early in the TMNT animated series from the late 80s, linking up with the Turtles during Series 1. So they play a pretty notable role, and it's my first Neutrinos figure in the collection, so I'm really happy to have Zack. Classic Playmates TMNT, bright colors, awesome accessories. I love the fact that this gun and the figure itself is kind of sculpted and articulated in a way where you can hold that in two hands in like a really natural way. That's awesome. So yeah, really happy to have Zack the Neutrino in the vintage TMNT collection.
Extra, extra, read all about it!
Our big boy Caprice and his men Mumbles, Flat Top, Itchy, and Influence have called a meeting with Pruneface to get him to join their mob. Pruneface agrees, and with weapons drawn, they swear to get Dick Tracy once and for all.
Sticking with the Playmates theme, next up we've got a lot of 3 complete Playmates Dick Tracy figures. Now when it comes to the Dick Tracy line, the figures are relatively easy to come by. The accessories, for whatever reason, not so much. The Playmates Dick Tracy figures, they didn't come with too many accessories, only 3 or 4 a piece, but they just look so much better with those accessories. So when I saw a lot of 3 complete figures pop up on eBay, even though I already had the figures incomplete in my collection, I just had to scoop them up. And the first one is the man himself, Dick Tracy. He's complete with his pistol, he's got his chest holster there, and his billy club, so he looks way better with his accessories. If you've got Dick Tracy, you've got to have the main villain to go with him, and that's our big boy Caprice. We've got our Caprice here complete. Once again, he's got his pistol and his holster and the old school loot bags. How cool is that? So really cool to have Dick Tracy and the main bad guy both complete in the collection. And to go with Dick Tracy and Big Boy, we've got Big Boy's evil hypnotherapist and medicine man Influence. And once again, Influence is complete. He's got the same Colt 32 pistol, this time with the brown handle and the leg holster. And he's going old school Wet Bandit style with the crowbar as his other weapon. And I love that. Once again, just like all of the Dick Tracy figures, excellent sculpts, great colors, and we've got some really cool details here with the chain of the pocket watch and the syringe in the top pocket. So you know Influence has got bad intentions, and he's just another really cool figure for the collection. Next up, once again sticking with the Dick Tracy theme, I picked up a lot of weapons from Carl at Retro Cartel Collectibles, a seller I've mentioned on the channel quite a few times before, and just like Adam Berry, Carl's details will be in the description below for you to check out. But Carl hooked us up with a set of weapons for my Dick Tracy Itchy figure. Itchy's another one of Big Boy's goons, and he's got some wicked weapons. He's got a Tommy gun, a lead pipe, and a really cool belt with grenades strapped to it. All the Dick Tracy villains are ready for war, and I absolutely love it. So my Itchy figure is going to look way better on display. And one of the cool things that I've been talking with a friend of the channel, Adam, about recently is how Playmates sculpted a lot of their figures from this era in a way where they all scale really nicely with one another. So if you didn't know otherwise, the Dick Tracy villains could be an awesome New York City gang of thugs for the Ninja Turtles to take out, and I just love that. Now speaking of the Turtles, Carl from Retro Cartel also hooked us up with a mad little wax pack of Ninja Turtles cards, which I really appreciated. It was a super small purchase, you know, a little baggie of 3 Dick Tracy weapons, and he's gone and thrown in a pack of Ninja Turtles cards. So I really appreciate that. It's a big shout out to Carl at Retro Cartel Collectibles. Next up, we're mixing it up with a bit of Monster in My Pocket action. Now, if you saw my most recent Collecticon toy hunt, you may recall that I just recently completed my childhood Monster in My Pocket collection, a collection of the first run of Monster in My Pocket minifigures from the early 90s. And with that done, now I'm targeting these awesome trading cards that profile the same 48 monsters with wicked full color pencil art that kind of stays true to the sculpt of the Monster in My Pocket figures, but just brings them to life with that awesome color. And we've got a great little set of cards here. We've got the Phantom, we've got Spring Heel Jack, we've got Rock, we've got Karen, we've got Bigfoot, an awesome interpretation, like an abominable snowman interpretation of Bigfoot here. I've got the Great Beast. This was without a doubt my favorite of the Monster in My Pocket minifigures as a kid, this awesome shredded reptilian beast with a dozen heads. I absolutely love that. We've got the Skeleton. I mean, we've got heaps. We've got Coatlicue, this wicked Aztec deity, which I absolutely love. We've got Vampirus looking awesome as some kind of, you know, Elvira inspired character. Just a lot of really cool characters here. I've got some doubles. I've got doubles of Spring-Heeled Jack and the Skeleton and maybe some others. Any of my doubles are going to Dean at Totally Taylor Retro Hunters, who I know is a big Monster in My Pocket guy, so big shout out to Dean. So I've got some doubles here for you, mate. But yeah, I'm really stoked to have these cards in the collection. One thing that I'm super just grateful about is that whoever sold these to me on eBay actually put them all, you know, sleeved them all up, which I really appreciate. I was thinking I was going to have to order some sleeves for these, but I love the Monster in My Pocket brand and the characters and this artwork so much that I would love to complete this set and get them framed and put on the wall, because Monster in My Pocket, as much as it's just like a random minifigure line, it was certainly a big part of that era of my childhood. So really happy to be tracking down these cards, and I've got a really good start with a nice lot here. So yeah, really happy to have them in the collection. Now, sticking with the monster theme, I've got one more thing to show you guys before we bring it home with Matt's gift, and that's this pair of knockoff Sun Gold monster minifigures. Now, for context, Sun Gold released a larger scale line of monster knockoff action figures under the line Monster, and they were basically vague Universal Monsters knockoffs with a really cool Freddy Krueger ripoff named Sharp Hand Joe. These same figures were also released on slightly different card backs by different brands like Simba and Cheppy Ratty, and they're pretty dodgy knockoffs, but they're high on my wish list, especially that wicked Sharp Hand Joe figure, which I absolutely love. Now, Sun Gold also released these figures here, smaller scale but similar looking monsters, 12 of them in total, under 6 different 2-packs. Now, these things, much like the larger scale line, they never turn up in Australia. I very rarely see them on eBay here in Australia or at toy fairs. When I do, they tend to command a pretty high price. So when I saw these two figures pop up on eBay on separate listings at really reasonable prices, I didn't even hesitate. I just jumped straight on them, and I'm really happy with the two that I managed to pick up. Firstly, we've got the best one, I believe, in my opinion, and probably the most sought after one. If you're going to have any of these dodgy monster knockoff minifigures, the one you want is the awesome Freddy Krueger KO. So I'm really happy to have him in the collection, and he's just weird, man. His colors are all different. He's got a weird looking scar or tattoo on his face with the bright blue hat, the unmistakable Freddy Krueger glove. And so he's really awesome. I'm really happy to have him in the collection. And the other one is this really weird creature that kind of combines, Quasimodo with the big hunchback, and maybe some elements of the Toxic Avenger there with the weird green and yellow skin. I love him as well, so I'm really happy to have both of these monster minifigures in the collection. Some of Sun Gold's finest. So really happy to have these. Looking forward to getting these guys on display. And I'm not holding my breath, but I certainly will be keeping an eye out for the other Sun Gold monster knockoffs, both this mini line, or this mini scale I should say, but also the larger ones. I would guess they're probably a 4 or 5 inch scale. They've got the articulation. I've never seen any in the flesh, but I'm really going to keep a close eye out for those ones, especially Sharp Hand Joe. So yeah, really happy to have the Sun Gold knockoff monsters now in the collection. Alrighty guys, now let's bring it home with Matt's gift, and I can't wait to open this thing. I've got a suspicion that it's a Hasbro WWF action figure, because just prior to handing this over to me, Matt maybe suggested that I don't buy any more Hasbros. So it's either a really weird tactic to throw me off the scent, or it's a Hasbro. If it is a Hasbro, then great minds think alike, because before he even mentioned anything, I also bought Matt, a Hasbro WWF gift for Christmas as well. So we're both helping one another out with the Hasbros, I think, but let's find out one way or the other. Alrighty, I've got a Christmas card here, and Matt is always super thoughtful with cards. Oh, what do we got? Oh wow, I've got a blue, how cool is that? I've got a Blue Harvest Toys card, or little kind of business card with his details. That's awesome. So big shout out to Mark at Blue Harvest. And I got a wonderful card here. Happy Christmas, Scott. Wishing you the happiest of Christmases. Hope you get lots of cool presents and you enjoy celebrating with your family. Your friendship's been one of many high spots of 2023. Your positivity and life lessons help get me through. How about that? Your friends always, Matt and Andrew. I can't forget Andrew. Big shout out to both those boys. Big shout out to Keep On Collecting. If you follow this channel, you'll know Keep On Collecting well, but I can't shout out those guys enough. Both Matt and Andrew, absolutely love you guys. So big shout out. Thank you for that card. And now let's rip into this gift and let's see what we got, man. Hasbro's one of my... Oh, look, maybe it's not. I'm going to stop talking about Hasbro's just in case it isn't a Hasbro. Let's see what we got. No way. Guys, it is indeed a Hasbro. And I feel bad about this. I feel bad about what Hasbro it is, because you know what? I should have suspected it, because if there's one Hasbro WWF figure that I've been banging on about all year, starting from my New Year Top 5 stream with Matt, where we mapped out our wish list for 2023, this item here was number 2 on my wish list, and I'm talking about the son of a plumber, the American Dream, baby, Dusty Rhodes. Look at that. Oh man, I am so stoked to have Dusty in my collection. Look at that beauty. Dusty Rhodes, Series 2, the American Dream, and I just love this figure. It's a figure that, for whatever reason, is just really hard to find here in Australia. Interestingly, when it comes to the Hasbros, it's really the green cards, which, much like any vintage action figure line from the 80s and 90s, the last wave of any action figure line is typically the hardest to find. It's the ones that command the most bucks, because they sold in the lowest volumes when these lines are starting to wane. Dusty's from the second wave, so he's an early wave figure, but for some reason you just don't see him. And you know what, I feel really guilty actually, because this figure was on eBay and I was umming and ahhing and talking to Matt, should I, shouldn't I? And Matt and Andy have gone and got it for me, so man, I really appreciate it. Dusty Rhodes, absolute legend. Dusty Rhodes, he did his best work before my time as a wrestling fan in promotions prior to the WWF. By the time he got to the WWF, he was in this polka dot gimmick that was almost kind of making fun of itself a little bit. But I still got really fond memories of Dusty Rhodes. One of the great talkers, incredible promos. If you're a wrestling guy, make sure you check out that Hard Times promo when he was feuding with Ric Flair. I absolutely love it. So really, really happy to have Dusty Rhodes. My last Hasbro for my Series 2 collection. So now I've got Series 2 complete. So in 2024, we can do a proper review video of Series 2. I'm rambling. I'm just super grateful. So big shout out to Matt and Andrew from Keep On Collecting. Hope you champions had a very Merry Christmas, and look forward to getting back on the hunt with you guys and linking up in 2024. Guys, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for watching. A big shout out to Matt and Andy from Keep On Collecting for hooking it up with the beautiful Hasbro Dusty Rhodes. I've also got to thank Adam Berry, Real Toy Dude on Instagram, for the gifts that he sent me. The Mad Balls, vending machine, little water squirter, and those wicked Crash Dummies pieces that I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on to understand whether they're legitimate Tyco Crash Dummies or if they're some kind of obscure knockoffs. Really happy to have those in my collection. So big shout out to those guys who have generously gifted me those items. Very, very unexpected, very, very unnecessary, but hugely appreciated. So big shout out. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, hope you had an awesome Christmas. Hope you have a very, very happy new year, and 2024 is kind to you guys. And yeah, I'll be back soon for the next one. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would love to get your thoughts in the comments. If you've made it this far, you're a dead set champion. As always, you're always more than welcome to hit us up on Instagram at Crusher Collects to say g'day. I'll see you back soon for the next one in 2024. And until then, cheers.